Yes, thank you so much. My husband and I watched one time your video, and I think it got millions and millions of views. The Tale of Two Brains.
Yeah, over 100 million.
100 million.
That's a
Wow.
lot of people. Yeah.
And my husband always says, I'm in my nothing box.
Yeah.
So can you please tell us about nothing box a little bit?
Okay. And the idea there, see, he still remembers it, even though he saw it one time.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I talk about how men and women tend to think. Men tend to compartmentalize, and women tend to connect everything. It's hard for a lot of times, guys. That's why a lot of guys don't want to be around women, because when you guys talk, you're connecting all the dots, and it gets confusing to men. We don't have lots of dots. We have one dot from here to there. Just get to the point. But women like to talk this way, this way. So I use the analogy of men have boxes in their brains because everything's compartmentalized. Everything has a certain box. And women have wires, and they're constantly connecting everything. And the two don't understand each other. The woman can't understand why he can't get all her dots trying to get to her conclusion. And men can't understand why he can't just get to the point. When men discuss a particular subject, we go to that part of our brain, that box, we pull out that box, we talk just about that box, only that box, and then he puts it back away. But women will go from one to the other, and it's just communication styles. It gets very, very confusing for people. Yeah. And yeah.
So what's the box?
Oh, on the box. Then I talk about our favorite box is we have a box in our brains that have nothing in it. We call it the nothing box. And every man understands what I'm talking about. Men have the ability to go to a place where they don't think about anything. It drives women crazy because, how can you think about nothing? But it's true. They'll say, what do you think about? Nothing. That's not possible. And I know women who get angry at their husbands when they ask him, what are you thinking? And he says, nothing. And she thinks, well, he's withholding from me. He's cheating me. No, he literally is thinking about nothing. They actually studied this, University of Pennsylvania several years ago, many years ago now. I think back in the 80s, 90s, it was called the decade of the brain. All these brain studies were coming out. And they brought men and women into labs, and they connected and monitored their brains. And women's brains are always going, men's brains, they said up to 70% of a man's brain activity completely shuts down when he's relaxing. So men literally can think about nothing and still breathe. So, and a woman doesn't understand it. And he doesn't understand why she can't, she'll be all stressed out and he'll say, well, stop thinking about it. Well, she thinks that's absurd. I can't stop thinking of it because men can, but most women can't. There's always exceptions, by the way, to this.
Yeah, of course. My husband had cancer and I'm worried so much. Oh my God, this and that. And he's like, I can't worry about this now. What do you mean you can't worry about this now? When can you worry about this? I don't have time to worry. I can't. He said he worried about his cancer maybe 1 hour total in the whole journey.
Good man.
And he worried about me. What will happen to me if he dies?
I'm getting ready to speak this weekend on this subject to people that fear and worry is a decision. You decide to do it, and it's not helpful. Worrying changes nothing. It just makes you sick. So you have to make the decision. I will not be afraid. I will not focus on the negative. And it's really the key to peace, because you get there and it's healthier for you anyway.
Okay, but
I remember my wife had cancer. Okay,
yes.
My first wife, she passed away 5 years ago.
Yes.
And the doctors would come in and tell us, the bad news. We just look at him and smile. And we had a couple of doctors who got angry with us. He said, "You're not taking this seriously enough." We said, "No, we get it. Dead." What's hard to grasp here? They get mad because we weren't worrying. The people are crazy. How does that help anything? And every medical study shows that attitude is one of the most important things to good health. And then these doctors who know better get mad because you're not getting upset. It's the craziest thing I ever saw. So it's just a decision. And it's easier for most men than most women, because he just goes to the one place and stays there.